Hello there, my name's Hocus Pocus and welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. This is episode 72 of the series, and today we are starting things out where we pretty much finished off last episode. So if you weren't around for that, we went ahead and extended the design from the smeltery into a corridor. And branching away from this corridor is the entrance to the villager trading area, which you have seen in recent episodes, of course. So aside from that, we didn't really get much done. Of course, we put a ceiling in to the villager trading area. And I say we didn't get much done. We actually designed quite a lot of the base in terms of this area. Anyway, of course, we still have this empty lot of untouched stone around us here, which probably needs something doing to it. We also came over here to the entrance to the villager cell and tried to get started on what eventually will become a bridge that branches across from this walkway here towards the villager cell itself. However, we sort of didn't have the inspiration required to get something up and running, unfortunately, so we left it there. However, this episode is probably going to focus around some more building work, and initially there's something I do want to get done quite quickly in this video, and that is to come into the dark oak tree farm here, and I want to install some lighting up in the ceiling because, as we mentioned last episode, it's kind of dark up there, so I think putting a few lights up there wouldn't hurt. So first things first, we're probably going to head over to the nether, grab ourselves some extra glowstone for this project, and once we've got that, we'll come back in, craft some of it up into redstone lamps and stick a few in the ceiling of this place to light it up a bit more. So here we are again, standing inches from death, listening to a ghast sing its song like a bird. This isn't a position I want to find myself in too often, of course. However, glowstone is a much needed necessity when it comes to aesthetic lighting options, and that includes, of course, redstone lamps that we are working with today. They are definitely, in my opinion, the... Oh no, okay, probably not getting that one back. Whoops. As I was saying though, they are probably, in my opinion, the greatest light choice possibly available in the game at the moment. However, with the 1.14 update just around the corner, we can look forward to the lanterns. Of course, they represent what an oil lantern looks like in real life, or quite similar anyway. And I think they're definitely going to be a good choice once they arrive to the game. They do have to be crafted using iron nuggets, I believe, which is going to be an expense in itself. However, iron nuggets come at a cost of 1 ingot per 9 nuggets, so they shouldn't be too pricey. Of course, iron is somewhat difficult to come by in large quantities, but if you do a bit of mining here and there, I'm sure you'll find yourselves enough to be able to implement your lanterns into builds. So now that we've collected a bit more glowstone for this project, we should be nearing enough. I'll probably go and mine out another vein of it, and then once we've done that, we'll head back over to the base and we can get some of this lighting installed. But I am definitely keeping my eye on this guy right here. So there you have it. There is the dark oak tree farm ceiling with lighting inside of it, and of course, well, in my opinion at least, this looks a lot better. So now that you can sort of get a gauge of the room in its entirety with the lighting organized, what I did was I placed 2 lights every 5 blocks, so a pair of lights every 5 blocks, so wow, every 6 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 6th block is where the lights go, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 6th block is where the lights go, and that allowed me to split them evenly amongst the arches. So of course we got 5 blocks lights, 5 blocks lights, and then another 5 blocks. So of course I did get rid of the trees so that you could have a good view of this, so let me just take the GUI away for a second so that you can just take a look here and just gaze at the beauty of this wide open room that we've created. And I really do like it. So I just wanted to quickly mention, you guys, if you're enjoying the video at this point, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, to stay tuned to this series and anything else I decide to post on the channel. Of course, that is imperative that you do it, so do it right now. I'm kidding. If you don't want to, don't do it, of course, but I'd really appreciate it if you could. So moving on from here, we're going to replant the trees ever so quickly so that we can get something else going in this episode, of course, because I didn't want to spend too much time getting this done. It was only a small task. So let's replant those. Drop off the remaining saplings in our sapling bank here. There we go. And I think now we will move on to, what should we do next? There is a lot of stuff to do around the base, of course. we could probably go ahead and begin tidying up this part here, because of course we've still got this rough area above the end wall here, so we'll probably go ahead and tidy that up right now. Once again, bringing you back just to show you the finished article here. So what we've came up with is an indented design going all the way over the main fixture for the back of this room, which of course is the cave that has the overhanging vines and the stone brick implementation. I was going to do this a little bit differently. So originally I was going to bring the logs all the way to the top there and have them sort of join up and have an angled finish that creates sort of a half arch there. But I figured instead it would look better just to line the top of this off with the slabs to basically cap this area of the design, and then draw the background all the way across basically. So bring this texture all the way across just to have an offset wall design. And I think it works out well. So now that we've got that in place, that is the back wall of this farm finished. Something we won't see much of because now that the ceiling is raised, the trees are growing quite high. And if we get to the back of the room, or the front you may say, looking towards the back, you don't really get that much of a view anyway with the trees in the way. However, when they do come down, you do get a good view of it. So maybe it is vital, or slightly important I should say, to have the back wall designed. Of course it is important to have every wall designed, but in this case you won't see much of it anyway, so you can get away with a few flaws here and there. However, I do like how it's turned out, and I think now that we've done that we can progress onwards. So I don't know if you guys remember last episode, of course if you were here for that, but we kind of had a bit of a moment where we couldn't think of what to do with this area here. However, I think I have a plan now, so we're probably going to just take the plunge and tackle it in this moment. So as you can see, I've set up a few dark oak pillars here and there, and I'm seeing issues already actually with my plan. I'm seeing issues already. Damn it. Here, let me just think. Under here is the sugarcane farm, right? Is there something we can do about this to stop it from becoming an issue? Ah, there really isn't, is there? There really isn't. We could change the ceiling design, I guess. So there is something we could do. However, we're going to have to be very careful about it if we do it. So is there something we could change to maybe make this a little bit different? I'm trying to think a second. I'm trying to have an idea. This is not ideal, of course. We've got ourselves into a bit of a pickle. See, my issue is we want to utilize this block, and this block, but if we break them, you can see it actually leads directly into the sugarcane farm. We'd also need this block and this block as well, so it's kind of an issue, isn't it? Maybe we can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna probably have to do a bit more thinking in that regard. Maybe instead we'll just switch it up. We'll bring this one out, because I haven't actually thought of that before. So maybe we'll bring this one out, go 1, 2, 3, line that up right here. And then we'll have a very narrow walkway in. That's kind of limiting ourselves a bit though, isn't it? I don't really want to do that. So what's the maximum sort of size we can hope for here? We could go laying some of these blocks back down. We could go here, I guess. You know what? I don't want to ponder too much, so let me go ahead and do this again off camera. Let me redo the plan, and this time sort of consider our surroundings a little bit more, and we'll jump back in and hopefully get something up and running. Apologies for that last clip, you guys. I don't know why I haven't ever sort of realized that this is an issue here, this part of the base, where we have this overlap between builds. However, I think I've maneuvered my way around it now. So of course we've got the wood pillars in, and then our slab border, which we usually go with and we know and we love, of course. So this kind of creates an open space, which is what I wanted. I wanted a nice open fill. So when you come up the stairs here, you're not greeted with a claustrophobic, narrow corridor. You are greeted with an opening which will allow you to see through into the coming rooms. So that allows us to progress nice and easily from the stairs to the corridor. So what I'm going to do now is build up the surrounding areas, put a few walls in, add a few design features, probably change the flooring out as well, extend the ceiling ever so slightly, and once we've completed it all and brought it all together, I'll bring you back in and we can check it out and make any necessary changes. Alright, so let's take a little bit of a walk here so that we can see our new design. So coming up, ignore this segment here, I'll explain that in a second, but we've gone ahead, put the walls in, put the ceiling in, Still very uniform, of course. It follows the same design characteristics that the rest of the build here does. So it kind of just follows on, as I said. Makes everything nice and linear and connected. So very basic, of course. Opens up a little bit, which is what I wanted, so that we don't have any narrow corridors and we can just kind of walk through and progress onwards to either the villager trading area or our smelting room at the end of the corridor. So as I said, I was going to talk about this very quickly. So originally the stairs actually went around the corner and they met a row of stone slabs that were across that gap there. However, when we did that, it would force me to place leaves in a line that went straight from here out to about here. And it kind of just looked off because we had this whole block here of leaves and then just a single line going out there. So, excuse me, I'm getting a bit of a burp coming on. It just won't come out. And I'm trying not to let you guys hear it on the microphone as well. So I'm trying to hold it in. It's making me sound a bit weird. Sorry about that. But as I was explaining, the leaves would come out here and extend out in a single block line to about this point, or this point here, I should say. And it looked kind of off. So I thought I'd cap it right there, keep it rectangular in shape. And then we can sort of organize this side of the this part of the ceiling when we develop the design further down here. Because what I want to do is extend this out, maybe have another wooden pillar here that goes up towards the ceiling. And then we can just put the wall design from that pillar to this pillar. Same on this side, except we won't have the wooden pillar because I want to keep this area here nice and open so that we can progress easily through the different parts of the base. And then once we've done that, we'll bring the ceiling out to a suitable point and fill it in with either some leaves that are in a different segment, or we could put some more of the green terracotta, which is kind of a place, well, not a placeholder because it's going to stay, but it's kind of a replacement in areas where the leaves won't work as well. But I think it does kind of link up nicely with the other textures to create a good feel. So I'd probably do something like that once the time comes for it. So now that we've got this part done and dusted, we can move on to the next, I don't know, maybe a new project, maybe another little task, who knows? We will see in a second, I guess. Alright, so I've been playing around with the bridge for a little bit now, and as you can see, I've came up with a very different design to what we had previously. And I think this one's going to work, you know. So I've been working on clearing out a bit of this so we can get a better look at it for ourselves. And I'm just going to take a bit of this stone away underneath so that we can sort of level out the ground below it. Think that will allow us to get a good look at how this bridge is going to turn out, because I have a little bit of an idea as well. You might have you might be getting some thoughts about what I'm going to do based on this block in the middle here. But what we want is we want a flat piece of flooring like so, and then we're going to head back over to the small storage because there's something I need to take, and that block is going to be a fence post. So I'm going to be taking some fences from here. 2 is probably not enough, so we'll craft some more very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2. Okay, so back over to the bridge. And what we're going to do with the fences is create a support so that the bridge doesn't look like it's floating, so that it looks like it has some sort of supports. And I'll give you a reason for that in a second. So if we bring that down here like so, put that in the floor, get ourselves a log, pop that in the floor as well. So now we've got the support leading up to the bridge. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because originally, or initially, I wanted the bridge to have some sort of barriers on the side so that it looked like a bridge, you know, that was structured, supported. You couldn't fall off the edges very easily, but I don't think that works in such a compact space. So the better idea, I think, is to have a support underneath that appears to be holding the bridge up. We could even have 2. We could get rid of the central one and have one coming down either side. I might even test that out in a second just to see which one looks better, because the middle one kind of looks a bit strange to me. So I might test out a support structure where we have 2. One coming from this block, one coming from this block, and the central block returned to a slab. But the idea behind it was, if you didn't get my explanation, was so that we could have a rickety old looking bridge, but have some way to explain how it manages to stay elevated without having railings or support or anything like that. So we did obviously build ourselves a support, not without a support. We did build ourselves one, and I think it's going to work. I think it'll work once we've organized everything else around it as well. So I might go ahead and, as I said, test out the dual support look, see if that's any better. If not, we'll think of something, and then I'll bring you back in so that we can discuss the design. So I think the way to go here is the 4 support setup. So I've dug back an extra block so that we don't have these attached to the stone in any way, and I think that this works the best. We could even in the future put some stairs going up here and sort of raise this ever so slightly just to give it a bit more a bit more discretion, I guess. Really? Discretion, is that the right word? A bit more cover, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. I want to hide the supports in some way, so we might elevate this ever so slightly in the future just to give it that extra cover. But I think this is definitely the way to go, and I like how it looks. So from the top we can take a quick look as well. And of course, as you guys know if you're with me last video, this bridge is what's going to lead us from this side, this walkway here, that runs past the cactus farm towards the sheep farm, the wool farm, and the storage area runs into the tree farm as well. It's going to take us from here across and eventually into this corridor, which connects us to the villager holding cell before they make their way into the trading hall. So it's kind of vital we have this set up, because otherwise there isn't really an easy way to get into the villager holding cell. But I think this will work, and from the glass up here you can see it's like that. We could even maybe have a bridge, some water running underneath it or something. I don't know, we'll figure it out in the future, because of course this ravine is ever evolving and ever changing, and all the time we're adding in new design features. So once we've pulled it all together, we could probably think of something to make this look really cool. But at the moment, this is what we're going with, and I think it works. So we're going to stick to it. So I accidentally cut the last recording short. There was something else I wanted to do, and that was to try and throw a few vines on the bridge as well. I was wondering if you could get them onto the half slabs, and you can't, which is a bit of a shame. I want to know though, if we extend these down, can we extend these in any way, or do they have to grow naturally? Alright, maybe they have to grow naturally, but we could also bring some vines down the supports here, so if we get some going on this side as well, it might be interesting. We want it right on the side of the block there, and right there too. So that was what I forgot, that was all. Just a simple extra design feature that we could implement. I was hoping that you could hang vines from the half slabs here. There might be a way, I don't really know. But at the moment it doesn't seem like that is a direct possibility. So we're going to have to stick with just having it on the wood right here. So now that we've got that in place, I'm going to also move this torch as well so that the vines can actually go ahead and extend if they can go any further than that. I'm not sure if they can grow down the side of fence posts like this. Hopefully they can. That would be quite interesting to see. But as I said, now that we've got done with the bridge here, I might think about figuring out a way to link this side of the bridge into the villager holding cell over there. I've came up with the framework for this room here, so you might be able to see what's going on. We're going to throw in a few more arches like we usually do. So I've actually had to draw these back one block, because just above this is some of the redstone work for our wool silo storage for the wool farm that we have obviously just over there past the cactus farm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this design, then I'll showcase it to you, and we will end the video on that point, I think. So we are almost done with this area now. You can have a quick sneak peek there, but we will be back. We've got to grab some iron bars, which is something I've literally just remembered as I started recording. We haven't put them in yet, so let me get some of those to finish off the build, and then we can take a look at the final product, which I'm actually quite proud of. I think it looks good. Don't know where I got the inspiration from for this. It just came out of nowhere, but yesterday, or sorry, in the last video, I think it was the last video we worked on this, right? In the last video, I couldn't for the life of me think of what I wanted to do, so I'm glad that we finally got this out of the way. But I'm just going to place these in quickly so that we can get things up and running for the final view. Of course, we're not going to put any in there as that borders a wall. And here we go. We can now take a look. So from the other side through the glass, you can see the opening. You might be wondering why we have a fence gate there. I'll explain all of that in a second. But coming over the bridge, we progress nicely through to this nice opening. And of course, we've got the famous arch design that this base is incorporated throughout. With the leaves, the regular wall design that we choose to go with, it's all around. Then we've slimmed, wow, I say slimmed the door down. We've actually extended the height of the door and narrowed it down to one fence gate. I think that works just as well as two. It's a bit less complicated to get through as well, so we've done that. Placed a slab up there just to, I don't know, make it look a little bit nicer than it did already. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can look all the way through to the villager trading center now. And of course, coming back out here, this is how it looks from the outside, just one more time. And to explain the fence gate that we've got here, the reason why we've done that is because I actually want to bring this wall level with these slabs here, and then have a ladder going up as well, so that when we're down here, we can access it from the ladder, because this is kind of a long way, going down here, up the water stream, out of the tree farm, taking a left. I just want a simple ladder in here that we can just access whenever we need to. We could even put a water stream up there, I guess, but a ladder will be the easiest way to get up and down without having to have an upstream and a downstream. So I think we'll go with the ladder once everything is in place. Anyway, you guys, that is going to be it from me for today's episode. So I really do hope that you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, as that helps me out, helps the channel out, and allows me to gauge the sort of response that I am getting from these videos. So that would be great if you could do that for me. Also, if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, any suggestions, be sure to put those down in the comment section below, because I love to read the comments and I love to respond to each and every one of them. So if there's anything you want to say, make sure to say it, regardless of how important you think it is. Just put it down there and I'll get back to you on that. So finally, I just want to say, if you're new around here, then be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I did tell you earlier in the video, so if you didn't do it back then, make sure you do it now, because I told you to do it, so you better do it. I'm kidding once again. Of course, if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to, but if you did like what you saw, definitely go ahead and subscribe. That will allow you to stay up to date with this series and any other videos that I decide to post on the channel. So one final thing I just want to say is thank you very much once again for taking time out of your day to come and watch my video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to look after yourselves, look after your families, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye for now.